So high drama on the streets of West Bengal today as BJP upped the ante against the Mamata Banerjee government. Leader of the opposition Suvendu Adhikari was detained by the police after a scuffle between him and cops during the BJP's march towards the state secretariat, also known as Nabanna. Several other BJP leaders, including Lokit Chatterjee, were also detained. Police used water cannons and tear gas shells to stop and disperse BJP workers. The Bengal BJP has now planned Kala Divash rally tomorrow.
Clashes, lathi charge, stone pelting, tear gas shells, water cannons, and even crude bombs. Every form of force was used to clamp down on BJP's Nobonno Cholo march. Angry BJP workers came face to face with the police and mayhem unfolded.
Major, tussle right now going on between the two sides. Obviously, as far as the security personnel is concerned, it shields up because these stones and bricks are being thrown, frequently from the other side.
BJP leader Suvendu Adhikari, Lokit Chatterjee and Rahul Sinha were stopped by the police near the secretariat and detained after a lot of resistance.
আপনি তো অ্যারেস্ট ডিক্লেয়ার করেছেন আপনি তো আমার গায়ে হাত দিয়েছেন আর দেবে না যা করেছে ঠিক আছে আমি ইনস্ট্রাকশন দিলাম আপনার সামনে কেন ও গায়ে হাত দেবে কেন আমার
In Howrah, the crackdown was most brutal. Protesting BJP workers were manhandled by the police. The BJP has accused the Mamata Banerjee government of trying to forcibly stop a democratic protest.
ममता जी का साथ आदमी नहीं है, बंगाल का जनता नहीं है, इसलिए जैसे नॉर्थ कोरिया में करता है तानाशाही, इस तरीके से बंगाल में भी तानाशाही कर रहा है.
The TMC defended the crackdown and accused BJP goons of destroying public property. The TMC has been cornered over corruption, with several party leaders, including ministers, being arrested or raided over scams. And now, with this shocking use of force, is the Bengal government on the back foot?
Let me go across to Bharti Ghosh, who's a BJP national spokesperson, joining us today. Anirban Banerjee is a political analyst. Anirban, after the scenes that were witnessed today in Bengal, can the charge of being undemocratic be thrown at the BJP by the TMC at least?
There's a difference between political activism and vandalism in the name of political activism. What we have witnessed over the last few years, whenever the BJP holds a rally, there's more vandalism than anything else. For example, in 2019, when there was a rally led by Mr. Amit Shah, the statue of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was destroyed by the vandals from BJP. We have seen that when Mr. Dilip Ghosh holds public meetings, even ambulances carrying emergency patients are not let to pass. And in 2022, this day, today, 2022, we have seen that the BJP vandals have set a police vehicle on fire in a heavily populated area where, had the vehicle exploded, innocent civilians would have lost their lives. You want me to say that the police should not act against these kind of vandalism?
But there is a point that is coming in, Anirban, that if the BJP delegation or the protesters would have been allowed in a more controlled fashion to carry out their protest march, then none of this situation would have arisen. What was the need to curb it so much in the first place?
The area around the state secretariat is under section 144, the year round, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Therefore, the police has right out said that we are not granting you permission to march to Novanno. Therefore, you have to modify your route or cancel this plan. The BJP did not change their plans, and the police cannot allow these vandals to seize the state secretariat by force.
This is, but what sense does it make to have the state secretariat have section 144 all year round? That in itself sounds a little odd, right?
No, absolutely not.
That means that you are stopping any political opposition or even the public from doing any demonstrations there.
If you check every state secretariat in every state of our country, there is one section 144 imposed around that area. This is high security zone. I mean, there are VVIPs moving around. These are not common ordinary people. I
Okay,
mean, they are
so
common ordinary
then that should be okay for every
people.
state. It is not an exception for West Bengal. I've got Rahul Sinha of the BJP also joining us over the phone line. Rahul Sinha, the charge that is being made against the BJP is that you deliberately caused vandalism. आपने जान के सड़कों पे आज ये सारा तमाशा किया जिसमें बहुत वायलेंस हुआ, वैंडलिज्म भी हुआ, ये बीजेपी के ऊपर एक्यूजेशन है।
देखिए, कुछ दिन पहले इस नबान्ना अभियान सीपीएम ने किए थे। उस समय सीपीएम को परमिशन मिला, वो कलकत्ता से किया। उस समय पुलिस कोई बाधा नहीं दिया, कारण इनके तृणमूल का साथ सीपीएम का एक गठबंधन अंडरग्राउंड का है, इसीलिए सीपीएम को परमिशन मिला, बीजेपी को नहीं मिला। कारण क्या है? उसका डर हो गया। जो बीजेपी ने ऐसा स्थिति पश्चिम बंगाल में जनता में जागरूकता ला दिया, उसका डर से तृणमूल कांग्रेस ने और तृणमूल कांग्रेस सरकार ने ऐसा किया। आप कहाँ देखेंगे जो प्रोग्राम का एक दिन पहले से जो ट्रेन से जा रहा है, सारे लोगों को ट्रेन से उतार रहा है। कल भी दिन भर लाठीचार्ज किया पूरा पश्चिम बंगाल में, हर जगह में। तो घटना पहले से ही देख रहा हूँ, जो सरकार ऐसा मारमुखी नीति अपना लिया जो जनतंत्र में एक लज्जा है। पश्चिम बंगाल में कोई पॉलिटिकल प्रोग्राम में ऐसा विंडिक्टिव एटीट्यूड किसी सरकार ने नहीं दिखाया। इस सरकार ने दिखाया, इसके कारण जिनका डर पैदा हो गया था, इसलिए उन्होंने किया। और जो मौत को और भी उत्तेजित करने का काम भी तृणमूल कांग्रेस सरकार का ओर से हुआ, और इसीलिए जो घटना हुआ इसके लिए जिम्मेदार तृणमूल सरकार का नीति।
आपका नेक्स्ट प्लान ऑफ एक्शन क्या है? आप हाईकोर्ट भी गए हो, हाईकोर्ट ने रिपोर्ट मांगी है सितंबर 19 तक, और आपने कल भी काला दिवस अनाउंस किया है। आपका नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या है? क्या इसी तरह से लड़ाई होती रहेगी? इनफैक्ट लेट मी टेक दैट क्वेश्चन टू भारती घोष ऑफ द बीजेपी हु इज आल्सो जॉइनिंग अस। भारती घोष, व्हाट्स गोइंग टू बी योर नेक्स्ट स्टेप? And I mean, do we really need to see this kind of confrontation between the opposition and the government, even if you have the legitimate right to protest?
आपका next step क्या है? इसी तरह से लड़ाई होती रहेगी? In fact, let me take that question to Bharti Ghosh of the BJP who is also joining us. Bharti Ghosh, what's going to be your next step? And I mean, do we really need to see this kind of confrontation between the opposition and the government, even if you have the legitimate right to protest?
I can't hear you fairly well, but as far as I understand, you are asking us what is the next step of Bharatiya Janata Party, if I'm correct.
Yes, go ahead.
You see, this barbaric torture has been going on for the last 3-4 days. Our party workers have been unlawfully restricted from coming outside their homes. They have been restricted from boarding trains, and any party in India or any organization doesn't have the lawful right to unlawfully restrict or unlawfully restrain the movement of passengers. This is also what we have seen. And today we have seen that on peaceful processions, tear gas, the use of tear gas by the police, the use of stone pelting by the police acting as a daladas of the Trinamool party, and our next step should be all-out steps. All-out effort to make Bengal free of this Hitlerian rule, of this fascist.
Okay, I've just run out of time. That's all the time that I had. I do thank both of our guests and all three of our guests for joining us. We'll see how this flashpoint, the latest one between the BJP and the TMC, now progresses. Time for a very short break. On the other side, we'll get to the day's biggest stories.